Now I'm like trying to see. This is a disaster. Is this how they do it? Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because I finally have my hands on the new Cold Moon palette from Ensleyreign. This will be my first time using an Ensleyreign palette, and I'm also excited because today is going to be the first time on my channel I'm going to be posting a 3 looks 1 palette. I'm going to share with you guys swatches, more information about the Cold Moon palette, all of the things. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about the Ensleyreign Cold Moon palette, as well as hearing my thoughts and seeing 3 looks, stay tuned first. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right, you guys, I have been curious about Ensleyreign for quite a while, but I will be honest, the price point has always kind of steered me away. But I saw Ensleyreign palettes in the top my favorite YouTubers, like end of the year palette ranking, that I was like, okay, I do want to try. So I actually ended up purchasing the Flower Moon palette first. This arrived to me maybe like a week ago, but I haven't dipped my hands into this. And when I saw the Cold Moon palette, like teased, like when I saw the color story, I knew this had to be mine. Everything about this color story really speaks to me, not just like the special holographic duochrome spread, like not just like the non-matte shades in this palette, like even the matte color story in this palette I thought was so beautiful. I have always thought that the well, my sister and I used to play Harvest Moon all the time when we were younger, on N64. Shout out if you know what I'm talking about. And so for some reason, like the Flower Moon, there was a Harvest Moon palette, and I thought about picking it up solely because we played Harvest Moon so much. Something about that has just like spoken to my young Steph self's soul. But I've always loved the artwork on here. I know that their like palette artwork is a bit controversial because they use AI to generate it rather than paying an artist. So I don't like to like involve drama in my makeup, but I know like that really does grind some people's gears because it takes away from like, basically AI takes away from like artists being able to like make money producing art. I am not giving my feelings. I'm just like putting that information out there so that you guys have it. I do think that the palette is absolutely beautiful. I will say it is like lighter. Like it feels like the cardboard feels a little bit light. I don't want to say like a little bit cheap, but like a little bit cheap. But I just wanted to note that this is what the inside of the palette looks like. And again, I will also post swatches, close-ups, things like that. There are 21 shades in this palette, and the pans are removable so that you can kind of like mix and match with other palettes or like build your own palette if you so choose. So just wanted to point that out. I do also want to note this is the box that the palette was shipped in. Absolutely beautiful. It does come like very well protected, and it also comes with a sticker. Mine's currently in my car, but with the Flower Moon palette, this is the sticker that it came with. With the Cold Moon palette, I did get a butterfly sticker, which I'm very excited to add to my stickers. I personally love stickers. Like I love stickers so much. So that was something that I wanted to know because it really made me excited. And then with Ensleyreign palettes, usually it gives you a shipping time frame when you order your palette. I don't know if it said 6 to 8 weeks. When I purchased this, I did purchase this on launch day, which I believe was December 26th. This was delivered to me yesterday on January 11th. So I believe 17 days from when I ordered it to when it was delivered, which was actually a lot sooner than I was expecting it. So so you need to kind of go in knowing you're not going to get your palette like 3 to 5 business days, but I did not think 17 days to receive this palette was bad at all. I am looking at the website right now, and it does say that the Cold Moon palette is currently on back order until March, so just be aware if you are looking to order this palette. And if I didn't say, I did purchase this palette myself. I believe the cost is $72.22, but I did use a code at checkout for 10% off. So I think I ended up paying closer to like $65. As I show you close-ups, I'm gonna just read off of the Ensleyreign website what they have to say about this palette. So it says, step into the realm of luxury and ethereal beauty with our newly revamped Cold Moon eyeshadow palette. This palette is the final chapter in a series that celebrates the mystical cycles of the moon, which includes our flower moon, strawberry moon, and harvest moon. Each shade crafted to resonate with the magical energy of a winter fairy. The palette includes 21 cool-toned masterpieces, elevating our previously cold moon palette. This version intensifies the magical allure with an expanded range of cool tones. It encompasses muted pinks and mauves, subtle neutrals, elegant taupes, and mystical silvers and grays. Each shade is an ode to the serene yet powerful presence of December's full moon. Diverse textures for ethereal looks, the palette boasts 10 luxurious mattes and 11 specialty shimmers, including 4 multi-dimensional holochrome, 1 multi-chrome, 3 duochromes, 2 ultra sparkly shimmers, and 1 classic satin shimmer in a variety of textures and finishes. These textures mimic the dazzling light of the winter's night sky, perfect for creating looks that are both whimsical and sophisticated. I didn't realize this was like the last palette in the collection of moons. I'm like, now I need the strawberry moon and the harvest moon palette. I did also want to point out, and again, I only have the flower moon to compare. The cold moon palette is slightly longer actually, and slightly more tall than the flower moon. And I don't know how this compares to the other moon palettes in the collection, but this one is slightly larger. So as mentioned in the introduction, I am going to be doing 3 looks with this eyeshadow palette. So let's jump in to those looks. All right, guys, I think I am ready to go with the first 2 looks. I'm going to put on some of the Lawless Forget the Filler lip balm so that my lips get hydrated while we're doing this. I just finished filming swatches and I like literally can't stop drooling at the swatches. This palette is so beautiful and I feel like so unique to my collection. I'll say I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done a 3 looks 1 palette. I've never done like a 1 look on this eye and 1 look on this eye, at least to like how I remember. And I also have like really hooded, somewhat downturned eyes, and I also feel like my eye, like this one's like a little bit more hooded than this one or whatever, so I'm a little bit nervous. I also don't feel like I have the best eyeshadow blending or creativity skills, so bear with me here. I'm like looking at this and I'm like, I know for my final look, because I'm going to do like the same look on both eyes, I really want to use this shade Storm Fairy, this really beautiful blue. I will say some of the shades in here are more like a chunky glitter, and that blue is one that is more of like a chunky glitter, so I'll be interested to see if I like how it applies. It's not like the smooth, it's not like super smooth. We'll see how it goes. But what do I want to do? Okay, so if I'm doing blue at the end, I'm thinking I definitely want to do something with this really beautiful like matte light sage green. There's just like, it's so beautiful. I'm like, I want to do everything. Okay, maybe because I know I want to do something with this green, we'll start with this. I'll be really curious to see how some of these like lighter mattes apply. By the way, you guys, I am fully like locked and loaded, ready to go at my desk. I have my lemon mint tea here. I've been obsessed with like a mint tea with lemon, like fresh lemon squeezed into it. And then I've been trying these from Pop and Bottle, these like canned things. Yesterday I tried the cold brew, which was fine. And today I have the matcha green tea. It says with reishi and maitake, which I believe are mushrooms. Your daily latte boosted. I got these at Target. Okay, let's do a taste test for this. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. Like I could barf. It smells good and matchy. That's actually not half bad. And then I also have my new favorite prebiotic soda from Poppy, the Doc Pop. Okay, I've been obsessed with the Olipop, the root beer one, but this, and is this supposed to be like Dr. Pepper? This is so good. Anyway, has nothing to do with this. Okay. we're gonna get into this green, but, and this is the other thing I will say, you guys, I keep saying I want to do something like lighter on my eyes. I feel like I'm always like, I want to do something like light and airy on the eyes, and then I end up with this like really dramatic look. So maybe I should just really go in with that sage green for my matte and nothing really to deepen it up. If I deepen it up, maybe I'll try to deepen it up with Transformation, but we're gonna go into Winter Solstice. And I just realized I don't have a mirror in front of me. Should I use, this will have to do. We're going into Winter Solstice, and I'm just going to like buff that into my crease. By the way, I did use the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow primer, and I laid down like a matte cream shade already. Okay. Oh, I should zoom you guys in. Oh, maybe I shouldn't, because I'm like highly nervous about my blending skills, but okay, we got a little something something on that, but I feel like this is something that I say I'm gonna have to build right after I say I want to do something like light and airy on the eyes. I feel like because it's so light though, I feel like this shade wouldn't necessarily work on all skin tones personally, but I could be wrong. And I do want to note, there is, oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Can you see? Can I get it to focus? Let's see. Can you see that there's like a decent amount of kick up? Maybe you can't see that, but there is. It's almost gonna start going on the other eye. I almost forgot. We're gonna be doing a whole separate look on the other eye. At least there's not like the stress of having to like match my eyes, you know, my eyeshadow on each eye. That's a benefit to this. Okay. I do like how that shade is building. I do think that is such a beautiful kind of like pastel sage sort of green. I think that's so pretty. Okay, I do feel like I want, maybe I should lay down a glitter or lay down like a shade. What do I want to lay down with it? You know what's so interesting? Oh, now that I have it, okay. I want to do that thing where like you can like hold a mirror up to your arm, but I don't think I'm coordinated enough for this to see if you guys can like see. Oh my gosh, how would I go about this? I don't know if it's gonna work at all to like see any of the shifts. Oh my gosh, amateur YouTuber right here. Can you see any of the shifts? We'll find out. Oh yeah, I see a shift right there. There we go. Okay, I'm not the best at deciphering every finish there is within like a not matte shade. I know, shame on me. Again, amateur YouTuber right here. But I'm gonna go in with the shade Snowdrop, which I believe is one of the holographic shades. And I'm just gonna place that all over my eye. Typically whenever I'm laying down like a shimmer of literally any kind, I always lay down a bit of the NYX glitter glue. So I'm gonna do that just to give it hopefully the best chance of like really gripping on and staying on all day. Okay, so I just have the NYX glitter glue all over like my lower lid. I'm gonna take Snowdrip just on my finger, and it's like a very like, it's kind of like one of those like sticky shadows, but it's like not firm. So I want to be like pretty gentle when I'm reaching in, and then I'm literally just going to, oh my gosh, that goes on so easily. I'm literally just gonna tap that all over my eyelid. And I'm not sure, I feel like there's a lot right in the center there. I'm not sure how it's coming across. Oh my gosh, that is literally so beautiful. I'm not sure how it's coming across on camera, but as I look at it in the mirror, it almost looks like a pink to a gold, whereas like swatched on my hand here, it looks like a almost like silver to a green shift. So it's just really interesting. And this is a palette like I would love to just pair with like like take a shimmer out of like and pair it with like every look I ever create this year. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm sure it won't, but okay, that is actually just such a quick, simple, easy eye look. And this is where I feel like I should just end it here, because I feel like I get so carried away all the time. And like I feel like because of my hooded turned eyes, sometimes like something just like light, airy, and soft like this would be so beautiful. I'm gonna put a liquid liner on my upper lash line. I always do that just because I feel like right now too, especially, there's like, it's making my eyelid look heavy. I do kind of want to add just like a little bit. What was I thinking I was gonna add? A little bit. Do I want to add anything, or do I feel like, yeah, I feel like maybe I won't. Like maybe we're actually just gonna keep it so simple here. Okay, here it is with liner. The only thing I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit more of that matte Winter Solstice and just see if I can build the crease up just a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna add. I think we're gonna go so simple, just so, you know, we can see like the variety that this offers. But like 2 shadows, like I literally could have done this look if I wasn't filming in 3 minutes, like literally 3 minutes. Really like the way that that turned out. So perfect. And I do know like I do notice a couple of like flecks of glitter here, but with this, and maybe it's because it's such a light shade, but even with the kick up that the matte provided, even with that kick up, I don't notice any like fallout underneath eyes. And I am pretty heavy handed with my makeup. I feel like I always have fallout everywhere. I almost always do my eyes first because of the fallout situation that I create. So I'm really happy there wasn't a ton of fallout. So this is gonna be, is this how they do it? This is gonna be, well, I need to put mascara on. We'll do it all at the end. And now I'm looking at this like Wolf Moon shade and I'm like, ooh, a part of me does. No, we're keeping it simple. Okay, moving on. I absolutely want to use this shade. This shade right here. This like, oh, because this is like one of my favorite. I love a blue brown shade. I love like a pink to gold. I love any sort of green, and this is like a pink to blue, and I love a pink to blue like this. So I really want to do something with that. And then I think maybe we'll go a little bit deeper. Also, I'm like, but there's so many different looks that I'm seeing that I could create with this, you guys. I feel like I'm gonna have to just continue playing with this. Maybe I'll do like, use this palette and a few more get ready with me's. A part of me is like, do I want to do 5 looks, which I kind of do, but I think we should start small since this is the first time I'm ever doing like looks with palettes. But anyway, I'm gonna start by, I'm actually going to, I think, mix the shades Cat Mint and Orethia together, this shade and this shade, these 2 shades, and I'm gonna see what we get for that. And I'm gonna go in with like a slightly smaller brush than I did for the other matte on the other eye. And I'm gonna more so focus this just on the crease rather than blowing it out right away. I turn this, I'm like, what way should I like face as I do this eye? Okay, right off the bat, I'm really loving this matte shade. I think it is so beautiful. These mattes are very pigmented, like they are building up very quickly, very easily, and to the point where I'm like, oh, am I gonna be able to blend this out how I want? Now I feel like I need to go in with a fluffier brush just to kind of like buff. Ooh, that's not quite what I was looking for a brush. Let's do this. Just to like buff that edge a little bit. I noticed that it skipped a little bit up here, but it's probably because of my eyeshadow primer. I don't think the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow primer is like my absolute favorite. It's almost like too sticky. Like one of those eyeshadow primers that's too sticky and can kind of like disrupt what you have going on. Okay, going in with just a little more of each of those. I am noticing there's kick up in these 2 shades, but not quite as much as that sage shade. Okay, this is literally such a beautiful matte shade. Just going in and buffing the edge again. Okay, I really love the way that those 2 matte purples came out. And what's really funny, you guys, is I have an updated chopping block coming up, and my next like range of shades that I'm focused on for my eyeshadow palette chopping block is going to be like mauvey purples, And I'm like, do I even need any other mauve purples in my collection if I have these two beautiful shades? I'm gonna keep building just a little bit, just because I want to do something a little bit more intense on this eye. I'm kind of just going back and forth between like buffing the edge out to really kind of like bring it up past the crease and like blow it up, blow it out, blow it up. I really, if I wanted like an all matte look, I could just go like this and I would be so happy with that. I am noticing maybe just like a little bit of fallout on this side, but I feel like I could avoid it if I was a little bit more careful. I'm just not the most careful when I do my eyeshadow. Okay, I'm pleased with the way that this looks. It's so tough, you guys, because I'm like, I definitely do want to use that shade, but there's also so many other beautiful shades, and like I want to like layer stuff on one another, but I also like want to see how things perform on their own. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more NYX glitter glue on this side. I'll have another sip of matcha while the glitter glue dries just a little bit. Okay, I do like the matcha. Okay, you guys, next up I'm going to go into the shade Snow Fairies right here, and I'm just going to take my finger. This one again is kind of one of those that's sticky. It's not quite as chunky as Snowdrop, but it is still like has a bit of that like sticky formula. And I'm just tapping this one all over the lid as well. Yep, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. I'm gonna try and like take this one into the crease just a little bit more, just to like kind of like lift the sparkle up. I am getting like glitter fallout on the cheeks, definitely, but that's okay. Okay, that is so pretty. Do I want to add anything else? Not really, because I'm like, how quick, simple, like I literally could have done this in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna try and just, oh yeah, dusting away the sparkle kind of makes it worse. We're just gonna be sparkly, but that's okay. I'm also gonna add, part of me like really wants to add more to this, but I just, ooh, what's actually, you know what I think I'm gonna add a little bit of is the shade Saturnalia, this one right here. Let's see. I should have done this with my left hand since it's my left eye. Okay, I'm just gonna tap this on top and see how these layer. Oh goodness. Okay, that just adds like a little bit more dimension. Even so, it went from like pink to purple to now we have a little of like to like a pinky, or to like a golden sort of shift. Almost adds like an orangey gold. I'm just tapping a little bit more on that. Is so freaking sparkly and intense. Wow. Okay, now I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid liner to this side as well. I definitely need to get a new liquid liner open here. This one is like fraying at the seams, but I refuse to like stop using it because it's still like has a really dark ink to it. It's not like it's like drying out. There's definitely a lot more glitter on this side, like fallout on my cheeks, than there is on this side, but this I really love as well. I think I'm gonna add liner and mascara to both sides. This one's so much more glittery and fun, but this is still like a fun look. I'm gonna add oh my gosh, eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back, you guys. I actually want to show you guys which liners I'm using. So for this side, I'm going to be using the shade Viper from Urban Decay. It's a 24/7 glide on. This is, it's almost like this, like, it's actually almost like a blue teal. Let's see how this, I do like a darker like waterline usually, even if it's colorful. There is that. Okay, that's fun. This also I feel like would have been really pretty to do even like an ivory shade in the waterline. And then I'm gonna take, and this side I'm just taking more of that Winter Solstice matte shade, and I'm just gonna buff that on the lower lash line. I do always like to have something on the lower lash line. That is just personal preference for me. Okay, I think for this eye, I'm actually not gonna go dark. I'm gonna go with this Urban Decay eyeliner. This is in Lannister Gold. It was in collaboration with Game of Thrones. It's just like a, almost like a metallic gold. Here, I'll swatch that right there. There it is swatched there. It's the type of eyeliner that like I feel like looks good with either warm or cool tones. Like it can really kind of go in either direction. So there is that eyeliner, and then I'm gonna mix those two matte shades and do that on the lower lash. Okay, and then I am someone who loves like a sparkly inner corner, and I feel like the majority of these shades, like I don't feel like there's necessarily like an inner corner highlight in here, because a lot of these like shades, the sparkly shades, are like more of like a chunky texture. So I'm going to into my new favorite inner corner highlighting palette. It is the Oracle palette from Bella Beauté Bar. And okay, on this eye right here, I'm gonna go into the Highest Priest, and I'm just going to tap that in the inner corner. This has like a very heavy like green teal shift to it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it at all, but I do like to carry this up just a little bit to kind of tie the look together. And then I will take this one down as well. So there is that one. And then I'm gonna go in with the Magician for this side, which is more of like a purple. Kind of same thing. I like to bring it just up a little bit just to like tie it in with the look. And then we'll bring it down and around. I love that purple. Perfect. It's so weird to see the two different eyes. Like it's so weird. Okay, now I'm gonna add mascara and I'll be right back. Side note, as I was just like aggressively wiping my hand off with a wipe, I noticed, oh, I also have glitter up here. But I noticed like glitter from my swatches like falling onto my pants. So I probably would recommend a glitter glue with these shadows. All right, guys, I'm just gonna add a little bit of Milani Teeth. Okay, here are the final looks for look 1 and look 2. Let me like get close so we can see look 1. I don't know if like, how do I do this? Is that working? I don't know. Let me also turn down the light so that we can try and see a little bit better of like how sparkly it is, hopefully. All right, and then we have look number 2. I don't know if you'll be able to see any shift at all. I will likely take like a picture of each eye and then like a boomerang as well. So if I have those, which I hope I do, I will insert those on the screen now. So hopefully we can get a better understanding of how these looks actually turned out. I will say right off the bat, I am so pleased with both of them. I think the biggest thing for me is just like, it would take 5 minutes to create this very sparkly, very beautiful look that just like took you 5 minutes, but it's like the most sparkly thing ever. That is, I think, one thing that I absolutely love so far about my experience with these. I've had no issues with any of the shades. I think the matte formula is actually so soft. I will say, yesterday my daughter was here when this was delivered, and she was like, Mom, can I swatch the palette with you? And I was like, yeah. And I'm not kidding you guys. She literally like touches the first shade, goes to swatch, and she's like, oh my gosh, Mom, this is so soft. And I was like, yes, it really is. So when I say like the matte formula is so soft to the touch and so buttery, which I know that word just gets so overused, these mattes, like truly, like you can feel it as you're swatching it. I would recommend a glitter glue. I do have, even with a glitter glue, some glitter fallout. I probably would recommend doing your eyes first when using this palette, but so far, so good. Now let's get into look number 3. All right, guys, I literally washed my entire face off, redid my makeup, and here I am for look number 3, and I'm so excited to dive into that blue I was talking to you guys about. Okay, I think I'm gonna go slightly deeper for this one, but for okay, I actually think I'm gonna start out, so usually if I'm doing like darker, like something heavier, do you guys see, like, am I the only one seeing this? Like, this eye is just not the same size as this eye. Anyway, now you'll never unsee it, so why I said that, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna first go into the shade Rebirth here, And I'm just going to like lay that on the outer, like, you get what I'm saying? Probably should, I'm like worried. I wonder if I should, oh my gosh, should I like whip out my like tool so I don't, is this gonna work? I don't know. Let's see how this goes. By the way, this is from Half Moon. I picked this up at Ulta. I feel like I like can't ever see well when I do this. But I kind of want, I feel like I'm not gonna be happy with the shape that I make this. Anyway, I'm just putting that Rebirth shade on this outer part of my eye. I always get so nervous when I do stuff like this, and I'm filming this. Ooh, I don't know if I like, well, we'll have to soften that up. We'll have to, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna try on the other side, and I am noticing with this shade quite a bit of kick up. Just so you guys know, just pointing it out. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but I know some people like really have a thing against kick up. And this is where like I don't ever know how to like get my shape even. And I feel like I don't ever end up liking it. Why did we go for something so advanced? I always like this eye better, which is weird because this is my left eye and I'm right-handed, and I feel like normally, what I've heard, maybe I'm totally off on this, but normally like right-handed people like the way that their right eye shadow turns out. Okay, I'm just gonna try and like buff that into the crease a bit more. I will say that's a very easy shade to work with, and actually that's like a dark gray. That's like not my normal go-to type of shade. Woo, the ponytail is doing just so much today. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush, but a little bit like, it's still a small brush, but it's still fluffy, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Cold Moon to kind of like soften this, soften the edges, and just mostly just to like get use out of more shades. Okay, I really like the way that those two blend together. Ooh, Cold Moon is a really pretty matte shade. Like that is such a pretty matte shade. Forgot to mention I laid down the Fenty primer and a matte cream shadow again. I'm noticing like, I don't know if you can see right up here, again, it's just like, I think it's the primer, like my shadow is just like clings weird up here. Maybe I just did not do a good job of setting my primer. But aside from like this, I really, really love the shade Cold Moon. I feel like this would be absolutely stunning on its own with any of these shades, but I really like the way that these two shades are blending together as well. Although now I'm like, okay, I need to just also get that into my crease a little bit. Missed that step. Not noticing as much kick up with the shade Cold Moon, which is kind of interesting because I feel like it's like one of the lighter shades with more white pigment. So I feel like I would, well, maybe it is actually, maybe it does have a lot of kick up. That's okay. Again, I don't care about kick up, but I just like to point it out because I know not everyone, or I know some people could do without. Okay, something funky is going on with my eyeshadow primer up here, but we're just gonna ignore that. I am gonna leave it at this for the mattes. Going in with my NYX glitter glue next. What I just realized, I meant to change this, my like bralette, to a darker blue one, and I'm annoyed at myself because I was sitting here editing for a bit while I did a load of laundry, so that you guys wouldn't hear the laundry in the background. And I was like, oh, I should change my shirt now or I'm gonna forget. And I was like, no, I don't feel like getting up. And then lo and behold, I forgot and I'm annoyed. Okay, in the spirit of getting use out of as many shades as possible, what I'm thinking I wanna do for this look is I want like something really silver on the inner third of my eye, and then I wanna use this blue on the outer third. And I think I'm actually gonna layer Cali Cantazaros and Wolf Moon. So I'm gonna lay down this one first. This is like probably the least exciting shimmer in the palette. It's like a, there it is, swatch straight. It's like a straight metallic. And then I'm gonna layer Wolf Moon on top, and then I'm gonna put Storm Fairies on the outer third. So I think I actually might start by putting Storm Fairies on the outer third. And I'm thinking, it's like a chunkier, it is a chunkier. Let's see how it goes on with a brush. Right now I'm using a really old Makeup Geek brush. I might end up having, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to use my finger for this. We're just gonna have a better time using the finger, I think. Oh my. Okay, I really like that, but as I was kind of like thinking, I feel like, especially after I swatched, I was like, I feel like this one is gonna be a little bit difficult just because it doesn't like lay down smoothly necessarily. And I feel like it's like, oh, actually maybe I'm judging a little too hard. Okay, I'm gonna go and do the same on this outer third. Yep, I was judging too hard. Holy, especially like, I feel like if you use a smaller finger, you definitely get more of an impact. Oh, wow. I am absolutely drooling over that shade. Wow. I've really gotten into like, I just think blues are so pretty, and I've started to feel that way over the last year, and like, wow. Okay, I really love that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my MAC 242, I believe. Wow, this is an old brush too, which is just a flat brush. And I'm gonna take that, this one right here, and I'm gonna lay that over the rest of my like lid space. And that's really pretty because it's like almost like a silver with like a hint of blue. I definitely do feel like I wish I did my eyes first. Oh, okay, that is actually just so pretty because it is more of like a silvery blue rather than a straight silver. I love that. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, I actually would be totally fine with like, although I do feel like, I will say, I feel like that shade Rebirth has kind of like worn away. Oh man, I should have tapped out the fallout. We got a lot of fallout going on the cheeks. I do feel like the shade Rebirth kind of like disappeared. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of that. I honestly think this is really pretty and I could leave it here, but I'm gonna go in with, there's so many pretty shades. Did I already use Snow Crystal? Ooh, that's so pretty. But anyway, I was gonna go in with Wolf Moon. So we're gonna stick to the original plan. And I think I actually might take the MAC flat brush that I was using already. Oh my gosh, that is so, okay. I could really just leave it here. And I think that's so pretty, but we're gonna put Wolf Moon on top. Just to add even more sparkle. Yeah, that definitely adds even more sparkle. Like this eye compared to this eye, definitely more sparkly. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of that Stormfire shade. I'm gonna add my liquid liner. So I'm going to add, do I want to do a cobalt blue to like really make this pop? I wish I almost had like a silver. Oh. Do we think, I'm gonna do a cobalt blue. We're gonna see how a cobalt blue liner goes. This one's from House Lab. Okay, there it is with the cobalt blue. I feel like that added a bit of a fun pop. For the lower lash line, I think I'm just gonna mix the two of these together. And actually that was a little bit deeper than I wanted. So I'll do deep on this outer third. Cold Moon, the blue, on the inner third. I'm gonna try and take a little bit of Snow Crystal here. This like, almost like bright It's almost, oh, that's extremely chunky. I don't know if that's gonna work. Okay, I'm actually gonna go in with the shade Atlas from Terra Moons. It's this really, really beautiful, like blue-green shade. And that's what I'm gonna use on my inner third, and then take it a little bit, or sorry, on my inner corner, and take it on that inner third a bit as well. And then I'm gonna add mascara, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back with mascara and even a blue scrunchie, and I did finally change shirts. I just realized I wasn't zoomed in at all for this third and final look, so I really apologize for that. I am really pleased with the way that this one turned out as well. My one thing is I'll be curious to see, and I'm gonna wear this for a while, I'll be curious to see how long like the sparkles last. Like, do they fall out throughout the day? Does it look really dull in a couple hours? That's what I'll be really curious to see. But this is how the third and final look turned out for like a frosty blue look for January. It's freezing out right now here. I love this. Like, I absolutely love how this look turned out. Personally, it's so sparkly and beautiful. I am so, so pleased so far. Here, let me turn the lights down before I give you my final thoughts. With the lights turned down. And again, I will take like a boomerang, a still photo, all of those things, and I'll pop them up on the screen for you really quickly. And then I will share my final thoughts with you guys. Okay, this is my personal first experience with Ensleyreign, and I am so happy with this. I feel like this is just like a color story that really does speak to me. I love the tones, even within the mattes. Like, I really love the tones within this matte. This is an indie palette where like I feel like I'm excited for this palette, not only for the shimmers, the metallics, the special shades, the holographics, but I'm also excited for this palette because I love these cool matte tones. I love every look that I created. I liked all three of the looks, and I felt like they were so quick. And even this, like, this did not take me that long to create this look. I feel like there's so many different directions that you could go with this palette. I feel like looking into this, I feel very creatively inspired, whereas sometimes I feel extremely overwhelmed with an eyeshadow palette, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to create. I just like, I do not want to put this away. I want to like just use this palette. I'm so freaking excited about it. I am so happy with this. And I didn't share this, but I actually had picked up the Flower Moon palette a couple weeks before purchasing the Cold Moon, or maybe like a week before. And so now I'm super excited that I have the Flower Moon palette to play with as well. Very excited to now jump into this. This one doesn't necessarily color-wise speak to the season that I'm currently in, but overall just so excited to continue to try this brand. Now I'm like, do I need to purchase every single palette that Ensleyreign has come out with? It's possible. It's possible that I'm gonna need to. I'm so happy with this. I know it is an expensive palette, but I will say that I do feel like there is just such a interesting variety of shades, and I feel like the matte shadows are like excellent quality as well. So for me, so far, I think my like $70, $72 was well spent, but obviously like it's gonna depend on you, your preferences, the color stories you like, the shades you like to wear on a day-to-day basis, but I'm just so happy with this. So I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. I had so much fun filming this 3 looks 1 palette. I'm so excited to continue to post content like this on my channel throughout this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Other than that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.